Good evening, well, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DeLand, Florida. College basketball is back, tipping off tonight. The Stetson Hatters and Florida Memorial Lions. FMU's already played a few games. The Stetson Hatters starting their season as the D1 year gets underway tonight. Hatters welcoming in FMU. I'm Evan Weston, alongside Greg Turner. We are so happy to have you from the Edmunds Center for another season of Stetson basketball. Hatters with a lot of returners. The starting five started plenty of games for them last year. And Rob Perry, their preseason all-conference pick, misses from three, but an offensive rebound to get them started. And Mohamedou Jawara loses it out of bounds, but it's off of a Lion at the end. There you see FMU head coach Ansar Al-Amin.
Also have a Stetson graduate on the bench for the Lions.
Chase Johnston gets the first points of the Stetson season. Johnston, a three-point sharpshooter, but that's not all he does. And Donnie Jones starting the year with a full-court press, and Coach Al-Amin forced into an early timeout.
This is a team that has played 4 games, Florida Memorial, so they won't be intimidated, but it is just what the doctor has prescribed to come out and play tough defense and try to break the will of a smaller team, an opponent that's an NAIA school, but very game tonight, Evan.
Florida Memorial just 7-17 last year. They look improved so far this year. They're 2-2. Well, they are coming off a loss at Faulkner on Saturday. There you see Brent Holcomb, their leading scorer, almost 17 points a game for Holcomb. Hatters are led by Donnie Jones in his 3rd year with the program. Pretty immediately turned them around into a solid mid-tier team in the A-Sun. They hope with all these players back that they'll be able to take another step this year. Johnston with a steal, and Johnston's got 2 more. A suffocating press from the Hatters so far.
The pressure is really bothering Florida Memorial. This is a methodical team, Evan. They like to kind of walk the ball up the floor. So obviously the scouting staff saw that and said, we're going to press them.
Barely get it over the timeline. There's Jethro Shishumpa to follow after the miss by Holcomb. Shishumpa, 6'10", grad student from the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
He's had a lengthy career, has been around, traveled around a bit, so you're going to see that a lot in college basketball this year. Players jumping from one team to the next with the NCAA, allowing one transfer without being able to sit out a year, and also with that one extra year from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Holcomb over the swipe of Jawara, and just like that, FMU ties the game.
And Holcomb is a guy that Evan mentioned is going to be he's our focus player of the night, because he can shoot the basketball, but he can also go inside. I don't think this is the pace that Florida Memorial wants to do, but that's what happens when a team presses you, make you speed up, and all of a sudden offensively you start playing fast right into the hands of the defense.
Josh Smith, sophomore, corner 3, it's good. You know, 2 for Smith, or 3 for Smith, I should say.
My favorite time of the year, it's first of the year when college basketball is taking off. And, boy, that's a nice move by Mr. Corey Benton.
Former NCCAA All-American Benton. There's a blocking foul against Jacoby Gordon.
And Benton is a guy you want to keep your eye on for Florida Memorial if you're the Hatters. There was a blocking foul there by Jacoby Gordon. Started his career out at Cal Berkeley, so we have some guys that have kind of been around the map.
Cal Berkeley tonight lost to UCSD by 13 at home. A brand new D1 team. They're not even eligible for the NCAA tournament until 2024.
Boy, and, you know, speaking of that, and I know as the season goes on, we'll talk about that more and more. There's some Division III teams jumping up into Division I. So a lot of movement going on in college sports.
Wild times. Tristan Jones, a 5th-year senior, he misses in and out. It was a bit of a surprise that Jones came back.
You know, why not? You know, you and I talked about it off air. You know, you can go to school, grad school, and if you don't have anything immediately lined up. I'm sure the coaching staff would love a veteran performer to help in that transition with new players. And he's a 1,000-point scorer, so, hey, I like to have one of those on my roster as well.
Eric Hester, the senior from Clearwater. Nice move into the lane, and he hits the floater.
Really like Hester. And he caused that turnover right there, too.
They called a foul on Rob Perry.
Yeah, offensive foul that Rob trying to clear out.
We'll show it to you here.
Yep, the push off. And Hester is also one of those guys that has moved around a bit. You know, started out at University of Florida. Then he went to University of Akron, where he didn't play. Then Tallahassee Community College, played 33 games. Prairie View, didn't play any games. And now he ended up at Florida Memorial.
His 5th school. Jones with the steal. Stephon Swenson, sophomore point guard, behind the back pass, but Jones misses the 3. Swenson's got a smooth handle and
yes, he does.
Superior court vision. He is a pass-first point guard. There's a deep 3 for Benton, who is the sharpshooter on this FMU team, but that was probably not his cleanest look.
And he touched his chest saying, that was me. You know, that's my bad, because, you know, that young man can fill it up now. As Evan mentioned, National Christian College Athletic Association All-American. He scored over 1,500 points in 2 years. I don't care what level you're playing on, Evan. That's a lot of points, and so you have to recognize where he is on the floor and not let him feel as if he's shooting in his backyard and start feeling comfortable.
Swenson taking it up for Stetson. Johnston lost it there momentarily.
You know, that experiment with putting Rob Perry at the point guard. And
lovely two-man game with Jones and Jawara.
Loved it. Nice execution and a big fella.
And another steal by that press. Johnston with a floater. He's got 6.
And the Hatters are catching the Lions. They're not spread out. They're not in their positions. You need someone in the middle on that to break a press.
Anthony King to Holcomb for 3. No good out of the corner. Rebound falls to Johnston, and he'll slow it up. Now, the Hatters were extremely methodical 2 years ago in Donnie Jones' first year. Last year, they had a little bit more pace. They want to run even more this year. And they got all these guys back and some real athletes in this freshman class as well. That's an offensive foul on Jawara.
You know, when you start at the top of the key, the big fellow, you know, Jawara, and you try to dribble 15 feet in, somebody's going to be waiting for you.
Take us to our first time out on the floor. Good basketball game so far. Hatters and Lions. Stetson up by 3.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll market to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
Stetson volleyball team is in the building tonight. They finished out their home slate. They've had a very good year. They've clinched the number 4 spot in the ASUN East Division for the conference tournament.
And they look very relaxed.
They will take on Jacksonville State in the first round of the ASUN Championship in a couple of weeks. A little too easy for FMU to move the ball up there, but the little bunny is missed by Shea Keeby.
I think that timeout got them in the right spot. The coach drew up a press breaker. You got to get someone in the middle of that zone press, get the ball in, move it side to side, get it across. Johnson
misses the little runner. Wesapanzo is checked in for Stetson, kind of a do-it-all super sub for them.
Yes, he is.
Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. So hard-nosed defender.
Nope.
Shoot it a little bit.
Nobody beats the Wes.
That's right. Let's wait till he makes a bucket and we can break that one out. Here's Holcomb.
And that's what he does best. That young man has a feathery touch. Played his 4 years at Loyola in Baltimore, Maryland. Wow, you don't see that often.
Good hands there by by Hester rather, on Swenson, and it ends up in a Hatter turnover.
You don't see that often, that Swenson getting his pocket picked almost, but Eric Hester, long arms, 6'3", senior. Take a look, he was just lackadaisical with the ball.
Now Swenson had a better than a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio last year as a freshman.
One of the top, if not, I think it was the top in the ASUN in terms of turnover to assist ratio, and led the Hatters in assists. He can score down here.
They double him. Smith ripping at the basketball, and he wins it.
Nice double team there by the Hatters.
Johnston tried to hurl one inside. It gets knocked out of bounds by Anthony King.
He saw Josh Smith out of the corner of his eye, tried to whip it through them to him, but you can't throw through a defender. You got to throw under or over. Fortunately, no turnover there.
Swenson on the drive. Kicks out to Johnston for three. A little bit short. Swenson, what a hustle play by Swenson, running that down. Goes to the rack, trying to pass.
Gotta lay that up.
Johnston, quick trigger. He can knock it down from anywhere.
But that's what he had in mind, 2 for 3. But again, you can't beat point blank range. Another steal by Swenson.
Over the back,
Bang
Jones
out.
throws it down.
Mr. Christian Jones.
And the Hatters knock it out for an FMU inbound, but Swenson active on defense with back-to-back steals.
On the replay there, Christian Jones. That press is really, really bothering the Lions. Out of the 3 games that I saw them play earlier this year, no one pressed them. And obviously the Hatter staff, you know, I didn't think that they would press them right away because, you know, you don't want to tip your hand to teams that may be scouting you. But obviously the coach says, let's work on this, man. We're going to press them.
5 steals already for Stetson tonight.
Hester is your best ball handler, even though Anthony King, 6-foot guard, is in, doesn't handle the ball as good as Hester.
Here's Holcomb. He puts it on the deck. Smith getting his hands on it, and they'll call a held ball. It'll stay with FMU.
Good, clean
but the
hustle.
crowd loves this hustle from the Hatter defense.
Man, I'm taking a look at Josh Smith, and you know, when you see guys who take a look at him here using hands, and hey, if you put that ball out in front of me, I'm going to swipe at it, and he got it. But you look at Josh Smith, he's put on probably about 10 pounds of muscle.
I was going to say, he does look a lot bigger.
Looks very good.
Well, you were a big fan of his game last year, but you did say just need some time, right? That's a 3 for Hester.
And there's Hester saying, hey, you don't forget about who I am.
He hasn't scored a whole lot, but I think it might just be a matter of shots not falling for him. He's clearly not a good jumper.
He's the glue to the team. You know, as I've watched him play, he's the guy that does a little of everything, kind of like Wesapanzo for the Hatters. Does everything.
Swenson showing off the handles tonight. Here's Perry, fadeaway Jay. Not a great look.
Yeah, that was the hands of Hester, those long arms. Definitely contested that shot.
Keeby into the front court, now holds it back for Benton. Corey Benton on the drive. Off the glass, a kiss from Corey Benton. He's got 4.
All right, Mr. Raftery, the kiss, the kiss. Yeah, that young man can score the ball now.
Swenson hands for Giancarlo Valdez in for the first time.
And Giancarlo has grown that afro back out. I think he played better with the hair.
He said he did it for you.
Yes, he did. He ran by us. He said, I got my hair back.
Josh Smith for 2 more. He's got 5.
Nice. Great ball movement by the Hatters. You know, it's not being stagnant on one side of the floor. They're moving it.
You like this group with Smith as kind of a small ball 5 here?
I do.
Talk about that a little bit more when
Mr.
we come
Jones,
back.
Bang out.
Raft would say send it in.
Christian Jones.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll market to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
Back here in the Edmunds Center. Good basketball game so far. Stetson and Florida Memorial both shooting it well. 18-15.
And despite the Lions turning the ball over, you know, they're still very much in this basketball game. And, you know, they're shooting the ball very well. They haven't connected but 1-3, 1 of 4, but 7 for 11. So they're scoring when they get the opportunity. The Hatters have cashed in on a lot of their turnovers, but they've missed some easy buckets as well.
King a little bit long with that mid-range J. Hatters have 9 points off turnovers tonight, half of their total. Keith Lamar has checked in for Stetson for the first time. Here's Jones. Swinging around to Valdez, and he walks.
Steps.
That is the 3rd Hatter turnover here in the first half.
Now Keith Lamar has cut his hair, and Giancarlo Valdez has grown his hair back, so they've kind of...
Lamar, a sophomore out of Stockbridge, Georgia. He was a bit player last year. We'll see if his role increases this season at all.
And I think so. He's put on about 10 pounds of muscle as well.
Hatters have been diligent in the weight room. We saw Jawara get a lot bigger last year. That freshman to sophomore leap seems to be it.
Yes, yes. You know, you get on that weight program and you start eating right. And so every college program is, coaches preach that. And I like the new unis there by the Hatters.
I love the lighter green stripe. That's a really nice look. Yeah. Nice floater in the lane over Panzo.
Corey Benton just showing you again why he was a National Christian College Athletic Association All-American. And that young man has an array of moves to score the ball. Let's see if the Hatters can get something going offensively. No inside present, kind of a 5-out looking offense. So you want somebody to...
Panzo with 3. Drills it from the corner.
And Wesley is very good. When he gets his feet set, he can knock down that three-pointer with regularity. As a matter of fact, one of the top led the ASUN in field goal percentage from the three-point range. Both teams have been in man-to-man, and both teams communicate well and do a lot of switching. Florida Memorial likes to switch a lot.
Hester,
so does the Hatters.
Step back, fade away. He's got it.
Nice.
He's a nice player,
Yes,
Eric Hester. You can tell why he was recruited to Florida There's a lot of skill in that young man.
And all the other schools that he's attended. Yeah. But yeah, just has a feel, nice feel for the game.
Valdez well off from three, rebound Benton. FMU hanging in there.
They are.
Now Benton for the lead. Got it!
Yeah, that young man gets it going.
He's already got 9 points, Greg. And Florida Memorial is in front. They've made 6 of their last 7 shots. Jones misses a triple. Shashampa with the rebound. And the Hatters not pressing so vividly as they were at the beginning of the game. Shashampa with the turnaround. That's no good. Rebound Lamar.
And you know that pressing, you have to be able to score the ball to set up that press. So if you're not scoring.
Swenson keeps trying that no-look feed, and
pass,
Jones wasn't ready for it. Johnston and Jawara will check back in.
You know, Corey Benton put up 23 against Middle Georgia.
We're going to get a timeout, 30-second timeout here from Donnie Jones.
So, you know, that young man, he can shoot the basketball. And what Coach Jones is probably talking about, guys, we have a lot of unforced turnovers, you know, unforced errors, and we're turning the ball over at a rate that we do not need to. I mean, this is a team that's going to, Florida Memorial, they're going to play solid defense. They're not going to run and jump. They're not going to, you know, press you. So let's get the shot that we want. I suspect the Hatters may need a little more inside presence, and Mr. Mamadou Jawara is coming back in.
Well, we mentioned that they were kind of playing with a small ball lineup. We saw Josh Smith play some 5. And now Jawara is going to come back in. The Hatters don't have that backup center this year, at least a guy that is a proven returner.
That's right.
Joel Kabimba has transferred out of the program, so that is one spot. And they have most of their guys back, but that is probably the biggest hole that they're going to look to fill, is what they do at the center position when Mahamadou Jawara is not on the floor.
That's right. And you know, with that small ball lineup, what happens is guys start falling in love with that three-point shot, and the next thing you know, everybody's jacking up threes from everywhere. And there's Holcomb.
He's a mid-range artist. That is kind of a lost art in the modern game. Brent Holcomb with 6. FMU shooting 11 of 17 from the field. Jones way too strong with the layup. I think he wanted a foul.
Yeah, not the best of shots there.
King in the mid-range. He drills it. First 2 for Anthony King. And right now, Florida Memorial can't miss.
Was that Aubrey? I think that's Aubrey Washington.
No, check that. You're right. It was Washington.
But they look a lot alike, both little guys. But he's coming in the game and give his team a lift.
Washington actually even smaller than King, 5'10", but he can ball a little bit. Now Jones counted and a foul.
And the Hatters needed that basket to stop the bleeding.
Chase Johnston into double figures.
Everyone knows he can shoot it, but can he take it to the basket? When you take away that, he's showing you right there that he can.
Fouls on Hulk, and he'll shoot the 3-point attempt when we come back.
The discipline that I learned here at Florida Memorial has helped me in my life now.
And I was able to go out in the real world and compete against the best.
One of the greatest investments you can make is in yourself and in your education.
The location, they can't beat that.
My campus experience here is phenomenal.
What HBCU school do you know that has an aviation program?
If you're looking for that family atmosphere, that home away from home, this is the school for you.
Florida Memorial University has prepared me to be that great individual for the future.
Lecturers here are very good, and then they really know what they're doing. basketball and academics. That's why I chose Florida Memorial University.
All my professors, they're my mentors, and I look up them as role models.
And I have one that I know she supports me as a player, as a person, and as a student.
We don't just leave our students when they graduate. We encourage them. We help them along the way.
We will get them where they want to go. Any student who wants to come to Florida Memorial will get a great education. We will see to that.
And we have produced premier educators and leaders in their respective fields.
I want to be remembered by my students for making sure they don't give up.
So why FMU?
Why Florida Memorial?
Why Florida Memorial University?
This is the place you come to engage, explore, and integrate.
We give you a promise and a future.
So that's an Afro-Latina. It gave me the option to connect to my roots.
Because it's a vibe.
You're definitely going to get the opportunities that you're looking for.
Why FMU? Nurturing academic excellence and career success.
A place where you can own your own excellence. Go Lions! Great to have folks back in the building. Good house tonight for a Tuesday night.
It is.
And everybody's excited to have this Stetson basketball team back. The Hatters with some big designs in the 2021-22 season. Chase Johnston to shoot an and one free throw here, and he drains it. He's got 12 points here in the first 12 and a half minutes.
He's been that bright spot offensively for the Hatters. He's got some easy buckets on this press, and here that press is again.
Hester in big trouble, and he traveled. He wanted a foul.
He says, man, he grabbed my arm, as he's telling the official. But everyone left him, you know, but there's Benton right there, but you have to spread out, and there's no one was on the opposite side of the floor for him to pass the basketball to.
I think the officials got that right. Smith. Johnston with 8 to shoot. He's going to pull up and try it. No good. Jawara going after the rebound. Held ball. He wins it back for Stetson. Another hustle play for the Hatters. Muhammadu Jawara gets in there.
One of the top offensive rebounders in the ASUN, Jawara, who pursues the basketball, as my good friend Clark Kellogg would always say, pursue the pumpkin. So when that ball goes up, don't be stagnant. Move around the person that's trying to box you out. You may get the basketball.
Johnston with 2 more. Nice inbound play by the Hatters.
And you know what I always say, Evan, you play man-to-man underneath the basket, you're going to get a layup. If you have some good plays, you're going to get a basket. Hatters took advantage of that.
Both teams have been in man all night. Let's see the Hatters play some zone last year.
And it looks like they're in a it's still man-to-man, but everybody's kind of off there, man. Jump to the basketball. You got to get out to this young man.
Benton with another 3.
Because he can do just that.
Yeah, he's got 12. And he's got FMU back in the lead.
And that was long range. That was an NBA, past the NBA.
Johnston a triple. That one was a decent look.
Most of the times he can get that to go down.
Benton again, off the glass.
Heat check, that was a heat check right there. And when you got it going, as I said, you don't want him to get comfortable, to feel as if he's shooting in his backyard, and I think he feels like he's in his backyard.
Swenson gets a step and blasts through the lane for 2. First 2 for Stephon Swenson. Holcomb open for 3. They finally miss one, and the Hatters nearly lose the rebound out of bounds.
But that was a nice pass out there by Gordon. Took it to the basket, inside, threw it out, just couldn't convert.
There's that 2-man game working again with Jawara and Jones, and Mo will get to the line.
Jawara.
Beyond Holcomb, that's his second.
Yeah, Jawara has to recognize who's in the basketball game. You know, you didn't have a shot blocker. Tishumpa's not in there. Go straight up. Sometimes you catch the basketball as a big guy in the post, and you know, if you're doing all of that posting up and pushing and shoving against someone, you lose track of where you are, but you have to know who's in the game and where you are, be able to go straight up and convert.
Well, this is a point of emphasis for Jawara, his free throw shooting. He was at 57% last year. When you get to the line as often as he does, even to get that into the 60s would be a big boost for the Hatters over the course of the season.
First year, I mean, it was him leading the team in free throw attempts, and then it became Rob Perry. Then last year it was Christian Jones, because Christian Jones started taking it to the basket. But yeah, you're right. You want him to shoot better than 50+%.
It's the second one to go. Hatters within one possession. Benton another deep three. Finally misses one. Shishumpa going for the rebound. It's last off Stetson. And then I think, yeah, this is going to stay with Florida Memorial. And no, it's not. Well, hold on. I think the referee closer to the scorer's table says it's actually FMU ball.
And Coach Jones said, hey, he gave him the ball. He said, we're going the other way. But the official said, no, no, no. Now the Hatters are in that zone. You got to recognize where Corey Benton is.
So the whole Hatter bench said, get out there,
yes.
Get out there.
And Josh Smith almost is in a box and one almost.
Here's a jumper for Washington.
And Aubrey Washington, that senior from Jacksonville who's attended Broward College, another one of those guys that's seasoned player and understands, is not afraid of the moment, giving his team a huge lift off the bench.
All on the perimeter for the Hatters right now. Johnston now goes inside, but it's stolen away. Keeby got a hand in there. Benton, wild drive, he lost it, and it will stay with the Lions. Still a little sloppy on the other end for Stetson.
It is. No continuity on offense-wise. So you want to be able to sometimes turn the basketball over. You know, more than one person touch it and then drive to the basket.
Hester.
Oh, good thought, but Tashumpa could not get his feet set. He was trying to hold off Jawara and receive the basketball at the same time, and not a good angle, but a good thought there by Hester. Turnover by the Lions. Let's see if the Hatters can.
Jones driving baseline, strong finish.
And they did capitalize off of it. And Christian Jones is showing you why he's a 1,000-point scorer. He went straight to the basket, something he did very good the end of last season.
Johnston with the takeaway. Hatters running the break. Johnston to Jawara, bullies his way through. Offensive foul.
That's a tough call.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Because Jawara tried to turn his body to the side, but officials saw it a little differently.
Well, Jawara rung up for his second personal. FMU with the lead as we head to our final break of the first half.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll market to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
Be sure to download Hatter Rewards and scan the QR code from the app as part of our virtual check-in. You get rewarded for simply watching the games. It's free and available on Google Play or the Apple App Store. Check in at events, get points, and get rewarded. For more information, visit the Fan Zone section of GoHatters.com. All right, back here at the Edmunds Center, 3:48 to play in the first half, and it's Florida Memorial shooting 65% from the field with a 3-point lead over the Stetson Hatters. Evan West and Greg Turner. Is this just FMU shooting the lights out of the ball, or is there something else to explain the NAIA school leading here as we near the end of the first half?
Well, they've capitalized off of, you know, their offense when they've had the opportunity, and they're shooting the ball very well. So, you know, when you don't have many misses and you're able to execute, and they've cut down on their turnovers, they're in this basketball game, and not only that, they're leading this basketball game.
Foul on the floor here. That's going to go against Anthony King. His first.
And, you know, the Hatters have not been able to run an offensive set to be able to score inside. A lot of things have been off of turnovers and, you know, inbound plays and hustle plays.
Christian Jones driving baseline. Johnston has got 14 points to lead the way for Stetson. Now Jones, shot clock winding down. He hits from three. Just a pull-up triple for Christian Jones. They're only going to give him 2, I think.
Yeah, looks like his foot may have been on that line there.
And turned over by Florida Memorial.
But this is what having a veteran performer, you know, a guy that's been around your program 4 years. He's a grad student this year, understands the moment, shot clock. I don't want to pass that basketball with 5 seconds left. I'm going to have to make a play. And he did.
Here he goes early in the shot clock, and unfortunate not to get the roll there, but they call a foul.
And a little bit of the George Gervin, the finger roll there as Christian Jones, nice strong move to the bucket, unable to get it to go down.
Fouls on Benton, his first. Benton with 15 here in the first half for the Lions. Jones will shoot 2. Christian took something of a leap last year in his senior season in terms of, we'd always seen the talent, but it just seemed like the consistency was there in a way it hadn't been.
Yeah, I think that's the right word to use, consistency. And you know, when we talk about him, we often talk about, you know, if he plays well early, then he plays well throughout the game. And so he's taken that upon himself to, hey, let me come out and let me press the issue and get myself going.
Was an 84% free throw shooter a year ago, which was way up from his first 3 years. And he makes 2 there to get the Hatters back in front.
And when you know that you're going to be playing, oh, there's Benton, that respect, you know, you're crowding him because you know he can shoot that three-pointer. So what does he do? A little hesitate, takes it to the basket.
Good little player. Johnston flicks it to Jones.
Had Wezzo to his right.
Deep 3 for Smith. Clangs off the back iron.
He's a capable shooter, but that's not the shot you needed right there. And this is their high screen pick and roll.
It's off the hands of Gavin Walker in the corner.
And he was not ready for it.
Oh, they tried the oop, but Swenson mishits Jones. Swenson's been going for the spectacular quite a bit tonight.
Yeah.
He's made that one great over the head toss to Jones for a dunk, but a few other times it just has not quite come together for him.
And here's Carrington Campbell, another one of their guards that's coming in. Yes,
so Coach Alameen going to some of his reserves here.
And he's a young guy that had a big shot earlier in their first win, hit a three-pointer at the buzzer. So this is a nice team he's put together.
King a little bit short, good contest there.
And they're going to be a formidable opponent in the Sun Conference where they play.
Jones will shovel to Smith, but
a lot of contact.
And no foul. Gordon got the hands in there to knock it out.
College basketball, got to be tough, be ready to receive it. Josh got kind of pushed in the back there, but the officials let play on. to see if the Hatters can get something offensively.
Smith powers his way in, and again, off the inbound, they get two.
Again, Evan, you hear me say it like over and over and over, man. When you play man-to-man, coaches, they will have some good plays for a team that plays man-to-man underneath the basket. You have to be a very good defensive team, extremely good to play man-to-man underneath the basket.
Gordon.
I think he lost it.
He did, but it was Weza who touched it last. Hatters don't love the call.
Yeah, Jacoby Gordon, junior from Houston, Texas. And we mentioned earlier, transferred in from Cal Berkeley. One of the interior players for the Lion.
Shea Keeby. Oh, he puts Smith on the deck, but it's blocked by Jones.
Right there to help his teammate out.
Johnson, quick trigger from the corner. Bang. He drills it. 17 points in the first half for Chase Johnston.
That young man can shoot the cover off the basketball and quick release.
Campbell flips it to Keeby for three. Off the glass, no good. Nearly fell. Now Johnston running forward. Shot clock is off. Johnston to Smith.
Good hustle.
And the Hatters pull it out.
Hold on to it for the last shot, but no.
Johnston misses a three. Now they were running and gunning. Now they'll pull it back.
Now for the last shot.
You got to get going here. Jones waiting for the buzzer. Jones got it off, but no good.
Oh, I thought he had a foul there, but officials have been letting them play, and they've been very consistent.
Fun first half, a lot of offense. Both teams shoot better than 50%. Hatters lead it 40-36 at the break. Greg and I will break it down for you when we come back.
The discipline that I learned here at Florida Memorial has helped me in my life now.
And I was able to go out in the real world and compete against the best.
One of the greatest investments you can make is in yourself and in your education.
The location, they can't beat that.
My campus experience here is phenomenal. What HBCU school do you know that has an aviation program?
We're looking for that family atmosphere, that home away from home. This is the school for you.
Florida Memorial University has prepared me to be that great individual for the future.
Lecturers here are very good, and then they really know what they're doing. Basketball and academics, that's why I chose Florida Memorial University.
All my professors, they're my mentors, and I look up them as role models.
And I have one that I know she supports me as a player, as a person, and as a student.
We don't just leave our students when they graduate. We encourage them. We help them along the way.
We will get them where they want to go. Any student who wants to come to Florida Memorial will get a great education. We will see to that.
And we have produced premier educators and leaders in their respective fields.
I want to be remembered by my students for making sure they don't give up.
So why FMU?
Why Florida Memorial?
Why Florida Memorial University?
This is the place you come to engage, explore, and innovate.
We give you a promise and a future.
So that's an Afro-Latina, it gave me the option to connect to my roots.
Because it's a vibe.
You're definitely going to get the opportunity that you're looking for.
Why FMU? Nurturing academic excellence and career success.
A place where you can own your own excellence. Go Lions!
Back here at the Edmunds Center, halftime. Stetson 40, Florida Memorial 36. Evan West and Greg Turner here. And Greg, the Hatters and the Lions playing a pretty fun, high-flying game so far. Chase Johnston and Corey Benton, 17 each for both sides. What'd you think?
Both of those guys are capable scorers. Transfers, you know, your big fella, he's transferred in from Loyola, playing very well. Benton, we talked about him, All-American, NCCAA. So this is a game team. This is their fourth game that's going to be of 11 in the month of November. So they're coming in here. They're not intimidated. They've played a lot of games. This is a game team, so the Hatters are going to have to match that intensity.
Florida Memorial, 16 of 28 in the first half. Only 5 of their 16 field goals were assisted. Are they going to have to keep up this level of shot making to stay in this, or is there something else that they can do to challenge Stetson in the second half?
Well, I think it's going to come down to execution. You know, the Hatters are probably going to ratchet up that defense a little. You know, that full court press, it bothered them somewhat, and they called a few timeouts and were able to put their press breaker in. But now it's going to come down to execution. The Hatters, they've been kind of helter-skelter offensively, so let's see if they can run their offense and score that way.
Fifth game for the Lions. It's the season debut for Stetson. What did you make of this Hatter team?
I like it. I like the uniforms. I like the intensity that they're playing with. We have some veteran performers back. Let's see how they act under pressure. Let's see if those Hatters can, they're a more experienced team. So let's see if they can come away with a victory here tonight.
All right, we'll have stats, highlights, much more still to come here at halftime from the Edmunds Center. Hatters by 4 at the break.
The discipline that I learned here at Florida Memorial has helped me in my life now.
And I was able to go out in the real world and compete against the best.
One of the greatest investments you can make is in yourself and in your education.
The location, they can't beat that.
My campus experience here is phenomenal. What HBCU school do you know that has an aviation program?
If you're looking for that family atmosphere, that home away from home, this is the school for you.
Florida Memorial University has prepared me to be that great individual for the future.
Lecturers here are very good, and they really know what they're doing. Basketball and academics, that's why I chose Florida Memorial University.
All my professors, they're my mentors, and I look up them as role models.
And I have one that I know she supports me as a player, as a person, and as a student.
We don't just leave our students when they graduate. We encourage them. We help them along the way.
We will get them where they want to go. Any student who wants to come to Florida Memorial will get a great education. We will see to that.
And we have produced premier educators and leaders in their respective fields.
I want to be remembered by my students for making sure they don't give up.
So why FMU?
Why Florida Memorial?
Why Florida Memorial University?
This is the place you come to engage, explore, and innovate.
We give you a promise and a future.
Because as an Afro-Latina, it gave me the option to connect to my roots.
Because it's a vibe.
You're definitely going to get the opportunity that you're looking for.
Why FMU? Nurturing academic excellence and career success.
A place where you can own your own excellence. Go Lions!
While many young men dream of becoming an NBA player, coveting the fame and wealth that comes with reaching the pinnacle of one's career as a player, others, like me, dreamed of becoming the trainer, the teacher, the coach, the mentor. I am Jason Gillum Alexander, Stetson University alum, class of 1997, and Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2003. For most of my life, I have simply been known as the protege. I had many incredible mentors, Jack Curran, Steve Smith, Tiny Archibald, but one stands out, Vincent Smith, older brother of current NBA on TNT analyst Kenny the Jet Smith, that had the most profound impact on my development. From the parks of Hollis, Queens, through the grassroots soil of the 5 New York City boroughs, basketball camps, AAU tournaments throughout the country, into the law of Archbishop Moore High School, the historic Oak Hill Academy in Virginia, the rich tradition of the University of Rhode Island, and finally here, the intimate, pristine campus of Stetson University, right here in DeLand, Florida. I saved the best for last, ending my playing career in the Edmunds Center, where we battled against the Knights of Central Florida, Panthers of Florida International, Cougars of the College of Charleston, among others in the Trans-America Athletic Conference. Hatter fans from DeLand, Deltona, DeBarry, Daytona cheered for me the same way I cheered for my mentors like Mark Action Jackson, former NBA coach and current NBA on ESPN analyst. Basketball ordained me, gave me purpose. It became my way to give back, to be the mentor I was destined to be. Each one teach one is my mantra. This is what the game has done for me. This is the understanding. This is the covenant. As I walk onto Glenn Brooks Court as coach for HBCU Florida Memorial University with athletic director Jeff Ortia and familiar faces courtside, I realize my experience has come full circle. The protege has become the mentor. I am him. He is me. This is what tonight means to me. This is what makes this night so special. I want to thank my Hatter coach, Dan Hipsher, current head coach, Donnie Jones, former teammates, current players, and most importantly, the fans for their support throughout the years. I'm forever proud and grateful to be a Stetson Hatter, your point guard, number 3, from Queens, New York, Jason Gillum Alexander.
The discipline that I learned here at Florida Memorial has helped me in my life now.
And I was able to go out in the real world and compete against the best.
One of the greatest investments you can make is in yourself and in your education.
The location, they can't beat that.
My campus experience here is phenomenal. What HBCU school do you know that has an aviation program?
If you're looking for that family atmosphere, that home away from home, this is the school for you.
Florida Memorial University has prepared me to be that great individual for the future.
Lecturers here are very good, and then they really know what they're doing. Basketball and academics, that's why I chose Florida Memorial University.
All my professors, they're my mentors, and I look up them as role models.
And I have one that I know she supports me as a player, as a person, and as a student.
We don't just leave our students when they graduate. We encourage them. We help them along the way.
We will get them where they want to go. Any student who wants to come to Florida Memorial will get a great education. We will see to that.
And we have produced premier educators and leaders in their respective fields.
I want to be remembered by my students for making sure they don't give up.
So why FMU?
Why Florida Memorial?
Why Florida Memorial University?
This is the place you come to engage, explore, and integrate.
We give you a promise and a future.
So that's an Afro-Latina, it gave me the option to connect to my roots.
Because it's a vibe.
You're definitely going to get the opportunities that you're looking for.
Why FMU? Nurturing academic excellence and career success.
A place where you can own your own excellence. Go Lions!
Take a look at some of the stats from the first half. Both teams shot the basketball well. Hatters were dominant inside, but the jumpers were falling in the mid-range and from downtown for Florida Memorial.
Indeed. Well, you see the rebounding edge slightly to the Hatters, and you would expect that. But this is a team, Florida Memorial, who out-rebounds their opponents. So they're a good rebounding team as well. But points in the paint, and the Hatters find themselves with a 4-point lead. And your preseason ASUN conference player, Mr. Rob Perry, has not scored a bucket. So you're up 4. Mr. Chase Johnson has showed up. Mr. Rob Perry, Super Rob, where are you?
Rob Perry in the first half took just 2 shots. He only played 5 minutes. He had 2 fouls. Take a look at some of the highlights from this first half, and you're going to see a lot of FMU making shots, especially Corey Benton. 17 for him in that first half.
And that was Holcomb, and you see Josh Smith showing you that he's been working on his outside shot. But that young man there, Benton, has scored from all over the floor, and the glue to the team, in my estimations, Mr. Eric Hester. And there's the big fella, Shawara, who's had an opportunity to score some, but not a lot inside, and Chase doing what he does, and there's the bang out by Mr. Christian Jones.
Yeah, that was a big highlight play. Hatters shot just 4 of 13 from long range. You saw the one from Wes Panzo, and then Benton got really hot from downtown.
He did, and he was shooting it from a distance that you ordinarily wouldn't guard anybody, but you know, you got to respect the guy, and there's Mr. Chase Johnson.
I was impressed.
2 of his 17.
You see the Benton, another deep three. I was impressed by Johnson, though. Only got 6 of his 17 on threes. He's going to have to vary up his game to be a really effective lead scorer, and it looks like he might be doing that.
Indeed, there's Christian Jones taking it up, but you're right. You have to add something new to your game every year.
Although that is going to be his bread and butter.
That's what he does best.
Johnston 17 in the first half. Stetson up by 4. We'll have the second half when we come back.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll market to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
Be sure to download Hatter Rewards and scan the QR code from the app as part of our virtual check-in. You get rewarded for simply watching the games. It's free and available on Google Play or the Apple App Store. Check in at events, get points, and get rewarded. For more information, visit the Fan Zone section of GoHatters.com. Back in the gym, Stetson up by 4 over Florida Memorial. Should be a good second half on the docket. Evan Weston, Greg Turner here at the Edmunds Center. Welcome back to college basketball. Big games on Big ESPN tonight, of course. Yes. Very excited to see this Duke team this year. Paolo Banchero, A.J. Griffin, both projected lottery picks. And Chero might be the #1 overall pick.
Taking on the Wildcats. So it's basketball across the board, all levels, Division I, II, III, NAIA, everywhere.
Shishumpa loses out on the offensive rebound on the first possession.
Got to go to work right here.
Jawara, one-on-one in the low post. He draws the contact.
That's what you want to see. Get it inside the post. You got a defender on your backside. Now you have the advantage. Nice dream shake, if you will. Hakeem Olajuwon made that famous kind of.
He portrayed my Orlando Magic in the NBA Finals.
A lot of other teams, too.
Yes. I don't think a lot of younger fans realize that Michael Jordan was playing baseball. I mean, Olajuwon was the guy. Now he's...
The Houston Rockets were a formidable team.
Incredible teams in the mid-90s. Hatters will get this as Washington was unable to track it down. So Jawara goes 1 out of 2, but the Hatters get another possession.
You know, ordinarily throughout the games that I've seen Florida Memorial play, you know, Coach has, he's started with Carrington Campbell, the younger player, but now you've gone with the veteran Aubrey Washington, and I think it's paid dividends for you. You know, he handles the ball a little better. and also better than Anthony King, but King is a little better scorer, but I think he's found something in Aubrey Washington.
Holcomb nails a three with Jones in his face. So Benton's had the big game, but Holcomb's got 9 here a minute into the second half.
And when
averaging 17 a game.
Our director, producer extraordinaire, Jeff Taylor, asked me, who should we, focus on? And I picked that young man, but I wanted to pick Benton, but either one, so both of them are playing well.
Hatter pick and roll game has been a little hit or miss tonight.
It has been. And unlike Florida Memorial, you have that pick and roll up top. Instead of a pick and roll, it becomes a pick and pop because of the shooting ability of Holcomb.
See if the Hatters can get Rob Perry going. He did not score in the first half, had 2 fouls. Johnston stolen by Gordon.
That would have been a tough pass to get that all the way through from one side to the other. You had to put some mustard on it and have it real low.
Holcomb, little fake. Holcomb all the way to the bucket, just bullies his way in.
The 6'8", 210-pound grad student from Miami, Florida, returning home to end his college career after those 4 years up in B-Moore, up in Baltimore, where he played in 76 games.
Josh Smith open for 3. It's no good.
Settling. You see that the Hatters, and Evan, and I saw you shaking your head. They've been settling for shots when I think you can play a little more inside out.
Benton, good take, but he missed the lay-in. It'll stay with the Lions, though. Oh, no, check that. It's going the other way. Nice touch by Benton on the way down.
May have had a fingernail on that. Yep. But you have to give the Lions some credit defensively. They switch a lot, and I thought personnel-wise that would be the advantage for the Hatters.
There's Perry's first bucket.
Super rod. And that was on a switch. Sometimes when you switch a lot, you have to communicate.
Holcomb off the back iron. Johnston. That's no good. Rebound falls to Washington.
Doesn't miss many clean looks like that.
Holcomb posting up. Holcomb works his way through Smith and Jawara. Holcomb with 7 points, all 7 for Florida Memorial to start this second half.
As if he looked over here to me and said, Mr. Turner, I'm not gonna disappoint you. I am the focus player of the. Started off the top of the show here.
Jawara underneath Shashampa and over the top of the hook shot.
And Tashampa's looking for the hook, the offensive foul, but official said, no, we've been letting you play on.
Jawara adding another club to his bag over the summer. Now Benton airballs a 3 and go the other way. We'll see Gary Adams check in for the first time for FMU. Freshman out of Miami, Florida.
Dave Western High School, so a lot of individuals on both benches, and the coaches want to use these type of games when you're playing out of your level, so to speak, that you can work on some things.
Another no-look pass from Swenson, and Perry knocks down the triple.
There's my guy, Super Rob Perry.
He just has such a quick release, Greg.
He does. He and Chase Johnson, I don't know who gets their shot off quicker. He probably, because he doesn't jump much, Rob Perry does.
Hatters nearly had the block. Just a little too much contact.
And Holcomb is feeling it. Hey, let me pump fake, take it to the basket.
He'll go to the line when we come back. Hatters holding out with that 4-point lead. Rob Perry starting to get going for Stetson.
Super Rob Perry.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll market to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
Let's have a look at this Rob Perry deep shot. You saw his toe was on the line.
Yeah.
They've given him 2, and that is the right call. So it's a 4-point Hatter lead.
You know, that's how you break down a defense, when you, what we call skip a pass. You know, Swenson received it on the left elbow, and instead of passing it to the right elbow, he skipped a pass, skipped the player to the corner to Rob Perry, and Rob hit one shot earlier. He's going to get it going, you know, feeling good, but I guess that toe was on the line, and had he wore a size 8 or 9 or 10, perhaps he'd have a 3-pointer, but let's see if Holcomb, who's a very good free throw shooter,
knocks down the first. Brent Holcomb, grad student out of Miami. You mentioned went to Loyola, Maryland, Greyhound. He is now 15 out of 18 on the year free throw line. And
going to improve that 82%, Evan?
He gets both.
And that's such a luxury when your big guy can knock down free throws with regularity.
Chase Johnston for the Hatters, stolen by Holcomb.
Yeah, that's twice he's tried to make that cross-court pass. Again, you got to throw over or under. Can't throw through a defender.
Holcomb just using his strength of pulling his way into the lane here. He's got all 9 second-half points for the Lions. Adams dribbled it off his own foot. Lost his shoe. Washington with the interception in the open court. Gordon stripped of the ball by Swenson, and he can't split the defense, but there's a foul this time. Adams was playing with one shoe. They get Benton for a second personal.
A little helter-skelter pace there going, and you know, I thought Josh Smith was going to keep his dribble alive. He tried to throw it ahead, and here's the steal there by Swenson, and tried to split the defenders, but number 1, Gary Adams, the freshman from Dave Western High School in Miami, that's a good foul. Grabbed him, didn't want to give up an easy bucket.
Swenson.
There you go, Swenson. First half, he was point-blank range, and he tried to throw it out, and he did get a 3, but I want you to score that bucket.
We know he loves to pass the ball and find those spectacular feats, but you got to have that scoring threat too,
yes, you
right?
do. Yes, you do.
Perry, blocking foul, he'll shoot 2. They'll ring up Washington for his first. 3rd team foul on the Lions.
And Rob taking it coast to coast. Take that long 1-2 steps, and Washington was not set. And Rob gets to the line frequently in ASUN play. And let's see if he can start a year off with a good percentage there.
So now Perry's got his 5th point.
You know, he shoots around 70%, and he's a guy that can shoot much better. You know, you like to see him in those high 70s and low 80s.
We said that about Christian Jones for years. He finally did it last year when he went up to 84%. See if Perry can take a similar leap. He makes both and looks good doing it.
Nice form, look relaxed.
So after the first half, where some other guys were getting in on the action, it's been the leading scorers for each team who have paced them here in the second. Holcomb for FMU and Perry for Stetson. Now Benton. I think he had more room than he realized. Benton saves it. Now Shea Keeby.
Team's kind of playing pity-pat with the basketball there. No one can come up with it, but the Lions finally do.
Behind the back from Holcomb. Keeby into the shot clock, blocked by Aubin Gadarizzi, his first college play, and he blocks the shot at the end of the shot clock for the violation.
The freshman from Charleroi, Belgium. Man, that length.
You went for that city name. I'm proud of you.
You know, I had to go on YouTube and get the pronunciation of it.
Perry misses the deep three.
But a good-looking freshman. You know, he's hampered by, it's like a sprained thumb, but nevertheless getting some action.
Gadarizzi, one of 5 in this recruiting class for Donnie Jones.
And you knew it was just, you know, even though we want to talk about a player that's not here, but now we got another 7-footer. We're almost 6'11". Young man Gadarizzi coming in for the Hatters, but now you have Nicodema Mujek from Florida Memorial, who's
7'2".
7'2". From the South Sudan.
Boy. And now he's guarding Swenson, who is all of 6'2".
And he is a very active player.
Gadarizzi, that's his own miss. In there again, but it's stolen away by Holcomb. Johnston nearly picks his pocket. Holcomb fighting his way inside. Gadarizzi knocks it down. It's picked up by FMU. That's Gabriel Gonzalez who's in for the first time. And then Swenson steals it away from Majuik.
And the officials are letting him play on. And
Swenson wide open, Perry. They let him shoot it. Bad idea.
Bang, bang, bang. Super Rob Perry.
Perry, a 40% three-point shooter his first year, 37 last year. Gadarizzi gets in with a block on King and then knocks the ball to Johnston. Good first shift here from Gadarizzi.
Yes, I like his length.
Perry gets bumped.
Fouled.
And that'll be the 3rd personal on Corey Benton.
And Benton is looking at the official. What about on the other end when I got fouled? But Rob pressing the issue. And there's the foul right in the face.
You're always going to call that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Perry's got 9 all here in the second half. He's got 9 of the 14 for Stetson. Holcomb is still the only Lion to score since halftime.
But defense leads to offense. You know, Gadarizzi coming up with contesting a shot, getting a hand on it, and Swenson coming up with the basketball. That's how you turn defense into offense. The Hatters have pushed it up a 10-point lead now to make that 11.
Perry 4 out of 4 from the line. This is their largest lead of the night.
Now this is the danger zone if you're the Florida Memorial, the Lions. You want to be able to come up with something right here offensively to weather this little run that the Hatters are on.
Benton through traffic to Gonzalez. Benton back, quick trigger 3. No good, and 1 and done.
Just wasn't set the way he wanted to be.
Jones weaving through. Shashampa with some good defense there in the low post.
Yeah, the big fella was waiting for Christian Jones. Christian tried to put it up over the spin and, you know, get his own rebound, but nothing doing there.
Holcomb lost the ball. He wanted a foul.
Officials right there on top of it said no foul.
Swenson hurls it ahead to Jones. Now they'll slow it down.
And here we are with a double screen, looks like at the top.
We call it off.
Hatters taking a lot of time to get into this set.
And it'll just go to Perry. Let's see if Super Rob can make something happen.
Yep.
Nope, offensive foul.
Yeah, you just not set.
That'll be the 3rd on Rob Perry, who had until that point had a sparkling second half. Hatters up by 11 though.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll mark it to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
Oh, we've missed this. The baby cam is back at the Edmunds Center.
You got to start them off young.
Future Hatters in the building.
And she's sitting there just, the horn didn't bother her. So, you know, obviously they spent some time in the gym.
Happy as can be.
Yeah.
Hatters on a 9-0 run here. FMU has not scored in almost 5 minutes. Really their first cold patch of the game so far. Hatters out to their largest lead. Gabriel Gonzalez will get to the line here. The little guard weaving his way through.
Another freshman from Southwest High School in Miami. Nice little spin move and with the body.
Should note before we went to the timeout, we said that foul was on Rob Perry. It was actually on Aubin Gadarizzi, so
yeah.
Perry is still on 2 fouls and thus remains in the game. That last foul was on Giancarlo Valdez, his first.
But that was a tough last possession for the Hatters. You know, it took them forever to get into some type of set, and then the shot clock winding down, and that's a nice hand for Gadarizzi, who came in and played very well for his first stint as a collegian.
Yeah, it's got to be encouraging for the Hatter coaching staff.
Yes, yes, he's a mobile guy. He, you know, definitely altered some shots while he was in there for sure.
Picked up a block, a steal, and an offensive rebound.
That's getting your money's worth there, getting your time.
Perry tripled. Doesn't matter, he gets fouled. Rob Perry starting to become a little too much to handle for FMU. Anthony King picks up his second personal.
And Rob saw the mismatch. He said, man, this guy, I'm much bigger than him. And nice post move there. Super Rob Perry. See if he can continue to stroke the basketball like he has done this second half at the free throw line. You know, it was just a matter of time before he can get on track. And did not panic. As you said, only 2 attempts that first half.
He was only on the floor for 5 minutes. He had the 2 fouls, but it's clearly not how he wanted to start his season.
And, you know, from that freshman to that sophomore year last year and he knocked that one down as well when they put him, Coach Jones put him in to play some point guard. He definitely improved his turnover to assist ratio, and so that's something I like to see in young players, you know, something that you get better in that next year.
Not a good look there for Holcomb.
Off-balance shot, shooting a fade away.
Those Gonzalez free throws were the first non-Holcomb points for FMU in the second half, and still the only.
And
Holcomb
playing defense on this end.
Nearly ripped it away. I think he may have had a point there.
Yeah.
I think I may have seen Smith rather put a finger on
reach
that
out
last.
for it, yeah.
But it'll stay with Stetson.
Even had it been a jump ball call, the possession arrow is still in their favor of the Hatters. But Holcomb isn't giving up. The whole Lions team continuing to play hard.
Perry 4 on the shot clock, driving, offensive foul this time. That will be Rob Perry's third as he is hit with a charge.
And good sportsmanship there as Holcomb helps him up. And Rob.
And he's frustrated as he has to come out of the game here with his third foul.
Yeah, because he felt he jumped away, and he did jump away from the defender, but I think the officials may have been blocked off a little from that. And
so Johnston comes back in for him. Johnston hasn't scored in the second half. He was on 17 in the first half.
And they needed all 17 of those points the Hatters did.
Shashampa over Panzo. Jethro Shashampa. He's got 4 points for FMU.
Big grad student. Everybody thinks he played at, oh, there is Chase Johnson, but.
Welcome back, shooter. Johnston with 20.
I mean, Deshampa, he was enrolled at Mississippi State, but he did not play a game at Mississippi State. He transferred from there on to Texas Southern. So,
Holcomb draws a foul.
So he started off at Arizona State, played 26 games, went to San Jacinto, played 31 games, then Mississippi State, played no games, then went to Texas Southern, played 30 games, and now he's a grad student at Florida Memorial.
The journeys on these NAIA guys are always fascinating.
For the communications department, we used to call them sports information. It's got to be pulling their hair out, man, because, some guys have had very good careers. I mean, you take a look at Holcomb at the line. 4 years, played 76 games for Loyola. So, those guys have had some pretty good careers elsewhere, so you've got to do your homework. And
in and out on the free throw. Holcomb goes 0 for 2. They get another shot out of it, but rebounded by Panzo.
Just talked about his 80+ percentage at the free throw line. And
not anymore.
No, not anymore. Came in the game shooting 82, so he's probably still right at it. There's
Johnston. Oh, I thought that one was going down. It's tipped out off of Benton.
That's a good call. Good call, Evan, and officials saw the same. Corey Benton is from the Buckeye State. From
Columbus. He's from
Columbus,
Buckeye
Ohio.
Country.
He started off at another NAIA school, Shawnee State. But when he went to Columbia International, he wore number 30. And he looks a little like a poor man's version of Steph Curry. Ooh.
That's going the other way.
Josh Smith showing you that pogo stick that he has inside those shoes.
And Johnston, though, for the foul.
Yeah.
Ohio State, by the way, they barely squeaked by Akron today in Columbus. 67-66. Just barely hung on to win that one.
The parity in college basketball, you've heard that line over and over. But this day and age, you're going to see it, and it really is true, because that transfer portal where guys can leave other schools and play right away. It's real.
Well, the shots have just dried up for FMU. Excuse me. Good rebound though by
Big fella.
the Lions, and Shashampa throws it down. 10-point game.
Big fella from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Going to stop. We'll see if they can get it to single digits before the under 8. Hatters are getting Jawara ready to come back in.
Yeah, and Swinson as well. You need that point guard to kind of, and Giancarlo is a guy that can play that role, but he's been in and out sparingly, so you have to have some continuity to be in there. So let's see if Swinson can get the team in an offensive set and execute it.
Comes to Panzo, 3 on the inbound, off the back iron. Rebound falls to Johnston. Now Swenson for 3. That's off the back. Jawara, powerful rebound. Blocking foul called on Holcomb, and that'll be on the floor. It's the 6th team foul on FMU.
There's the offensive rebound, one of the better offensive rebounders in the ASUN. And
that is the 3rd personal for Holcomb. So both teams now in the bonus.
And I thought Jawara was in the active shooting, but I don't think so. So
I think they got the contact as he was
making the move,
moving in, and then put the shot up.
Was the one that hit him on the arm, but the foul was before. So
yep, you got
no
the
shots.
Blocking foul on Holcomb. Off the inbound to Jones. Jones pull-up jumper. No good. And this time Jawara knocks it out of bounds. So FMU gets their stop.
Still a manageable game for them. Yep. You got 8 minutes, 10-point game.
Just need to get some shots to go. They're shooting 26% in the second half after going 57% from the floor in the first half.
Both teams shot over 50%. And
Hatters aren't much better, but they've got all those free throws boosting them a little bit. Here's Washington. And Washington drills it. It's a 2, but FMU is within single digits.
Yeah, I think Coach has found something. You know, I think Coach, you know, Elamine has says, hey, I've been playing Carrington and I've been playing some other guys, but he's a guy that can give me some offense, and he handles the ball pretty well.
Jones loses his footing, but recovers. 10 on the shot clock. Swenson puts it on the deck.
And Jawara was wide open and just anticipating where his teammates would be, and unforced error.
So FMU with the ball down 8 with about 7 minutes to go. Should be a good finish here in DeLand.
It's Mr. Aubrey Washington.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll market to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
Back here at the Edmunds Center, should be a good finish here. Stetson 61, Florida Memorial 53. As the Hatters and Lions have gone toe-to-toe. Explosive first half has turned into more of a knockdown, drag-out second half.
Yeah, and you know, both teams, their star players are, I won't say as advertised, but they have showed up. Both of them are in double figures and playing well for their teams, keeping their teams in the game.
Big defensive play by Jawara, getting position on Shishumpa. That's a big boy battle down there.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Two grown men.
Here's Johnston, 20-point night for him. Perry, turnaround shot. It's a tough one to get to go.
Quick, the Hatters are shooting very quick in the shot clock.
Benton, deep three. That would have been huge for FMU. Oh, Jawara drops the rebound. 2 free points for Shishumpa.
And Shishumpa's like, look what I found.
8 for Shishumpa.
Sometimes being in the right place at the right time is better than being good, so you're lucky. And that's just, this is a 6-point game.
Jawara.
Go straight up.
Shishumpa did not have position, but he got himself back, and Jawara is frustrated with himself, I think.
And I think Jawara just has to go straight up. Don't hesitate. Punch it, because he is capable of doing that.
Perry puts it up from mid-range. Oh, in and out.
That's a good-looking shot. 2-man game with Jawara, but couldn't get it to go.
Holcomb
nice.
almost. Beautiful backdoor cut, but he couldn't stick it in. Now Jones on the floor, won by Benton. He calls timeout.
And as Christian had his mind made up that he's going to go to length, but nothing was there. Good defense by the Lions.
And they are within 6 as we hit another timeout on the floor.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll mark it to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
John B. rallying the Hatters. Stetson up by 6, but they are scoreless over the last 4 minutes and change. And they have seen a 12-point lead dwindle down to 6 against NAIA Florida Memorial, who looked much improved from a year ago and are providing a stiff test for the Stetson Hatters.
I'd like to say it's the defense of the Lions, but a lot of it's been self-inflicted on the Hatters. You know, poor shot selection, shooting early in the shot clock, unforced errors.
Holcomb misses the 3. That was a deep triple from Brent Holcomb. Johnston thought about it, tried it on the second go, and it misses, but Jawara with the offensive rebound. Perry.
Chase didn't look balanced on that shot that he normally makes.
It's that baseline feed that FMU's picked off a couple times. This time, though, Washington can't stay in bounds.
Because that skip pass to the corner from the opposite corner, I mean, teams work on rotation, just like you work on, you know, doing it offensively every day in practice. Teams work on it defensively. So they've picked that pass off probably, what, 3 times? The Hatters have tried to make that.
Yeah, that would have been the 3rd where they would have picked that off.
Yeah.
Now it is going to go the other way.
And a nice play. Chase received that ball underneath the block, and it would have been tough for him to get that shot off.
FMU, they've gotten so many stops. Now they're within 4 as Benton gets to 19. Those are his first points of the second half.
Mr. Benton giving you an array of moves and showing you why he put up 1,500 plus points in 2 years at Columbia International University.
Hatters have just got to get a bucket. Their scoreless run has gone over 5 minutes. Perry driving, and he's the guy they go to when they have to have points. 15 for Perry, all in the second half.
That's what your veteran performer, 3-year starter should do for you.
Ugly 3 from Gordon.
Yeah, ill-advised shot.
No real reason for that.
Yeah, I mean, and you haven't taken that shot all game.
Perry tries to dish for Jawara. There's a late blocking foul on Gordon. That's Gordon's second personal. It'll put Perry at the line for 1-and-1 when we come back. Rob Perry looking to take over. He's got the Hatters up by 6 with 4 minutes to go.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll market to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold. Hatters hoping their team hangs on here. They're up by 6. Rob Perry, who is 6 for 6 shooting free throws tonight, is at the line for a 1-and-1. Evan West and Greg Turner here at the Edmunds Center for our college basketball tip-off. So excited to bring you this season of Stetson basketball. Hatters won't be back home until the Saturday after Thanksgiving, 27th of November against Campbell.
Got a nice little stretch of games the Hatters will partake in. I mean, Georgia Tech, Miami, Lamar. Ooh.
Ohio, Miami.
Miami of Ohio, that is correct. And before they take on the Camels, they come to town.
There are 3 D1 home games this year in the non-conference. Campbell, a former ASUN school, Ohio, and the College of Charleston. Shishumpa backing down Smith, but he misses the hook shot and the rebound by Johnston.
Would have been good to get that to go. Would have been a 5-point game.
Swenson in and out from 3.
Even though you're wide open. Did you need that shot? You know, you probably could have gotten something better.
It's interesting with Swenson. He's made a couple questionable decisions tonight as Benton is off the mark from 3. He has 4 turnovers, but he has 7 assists and 6 steals. So even on a night where he's done some things that make you scratch your head, he's also really contributed on both ends.
He's a stat stuffer in regards to on the floor play. I mean, he makes good decisions. That's his strong suit. Tonight, been a little overzealous, and there's Holcomb adding to his total. That young man has played well tonight.
Back within 5, FMU.
17 points for him, right on his average.
Swenson closely guarded by Gonzalez. Johnson goes to set a screen. And Swenson around Smith, high off the glass, no good. Benton the rebound.
Gotta be able to make those.
Gonzalez, 1 possession game as Gabriel Gonzalez, the freshman, gets his first field goal. He's given FMU some great minutes here in the second half, as is Washington.
And defensively as well. And that's why I said that shot 2 series ago by Swenson. Did you need that shot? You know,
Perry open for 3 off the screen. He drills it. Well, they went under the screen from Smith, and Perry makes him pay.
Yes, he does.
19 in the second half for Rob Perry.
Super Rob coming to life.
Holcomb drills a contested jumper to keep FMU in it.
And Holcomb is saying, hey, Mr. Turner, I'm not going to let you down.
Both of them have 19. All of Perry's coming in the second half. Benton with the foul.
Wow, that's a tough call. But I think just like you see in college football, NFL football, when that defensive back grabs you around the waist and uses the offhand. Take a look at it here. See, he had, apparently, early he had Rob around the waist. Would have been a great steal for the Lions. And Benton is looking at Rob and like, man, you know I got that, don't you?
That's Benton's third foul.
And he's talking to him at the line. And, you know, Benton and Rob is, you know, Benton didn't start the game against Middle Georgia because he came into the game, he had on some Air Jordans. And the coach is like, hey, look, son, you know we're an Adidas school, so now you need to, unless you find some Adidas, you can't play. And the bus driver had to go and take him somewhere, and he finally got a pair, and he came in. That's why he didn't start that game against Middle Georgia. Boy, talking about taking that sponsorship to the nth degree.
Oh, they seem to be working for him tonight.
It is.
Perry, though, 21 here in the second half. He makes both free throws. The Hatters back up by 6. FMU running out of time. Washington, Swenson got a piece. 6 steals tonight.
Yeah.
Been so active at the top of that Hatter defense.
You know, playing hard and playing with effort is something you never have to get on Swenson about doing.
Holcomb nearly lost the inbound, but he has it back. 7 to shoot. FMU needs a bucket. Washington corner 3. In and out, and Perry with a big rebound, and they call a foul on FMU.
Just a little more arch as Aubrey Washington let that go, and big time rebound there by
Greg,
Rob
this
Perry.
is why Rob Perry was picked preseason all-conference. A guy who can play 5 minutes in the first half, 2 fouls, he doesn't score a point, he comes out here in the second half, it just takes over the entire game. And he has 21 of the 29 for Stetson since halftime.
And the Hatters only have 1,000-point scorer on their roster, and he is less than 100 points away, so he's soon to join that club.
Yeah, he may have that by the time they get back in this gym at the end of the month.
You're right.
He could get it in that game. It's very possible.
And Jawara is about 300-plus away, so
good chance for him this year as well, for sure.
And why is that such a big deal? I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, that's a watermark in college basketball when you play probably 100 games, maybe 105, 110. If you play, go into postseason play, you can get up until 120. I mean, that shows something about your career.
Well, how about Perry, 11 of 12 at the free throw line tonight, Greg?
Yeah, I like that. And that's going to do a world of good for your confidence mentally. You know, when you look at their stats, you'll see, man, I'm shooting on 90%.
Good finish by Gordon there.
Strong move by Gordon.
Lions need a stop. They press.
And they're in a 2-1-2 press.
When do they think about fouling?
Right about now.
Yeah. Swenson splits 2 defenders to Smith. Oh.
Yep.
That's a good decision, though. The crowd wanted him to shoot it, but it was a good call, and then Perry lays it in.
Yeah, because he got that. He gave up a good shot for a better shot.
That is just a mature decision by Smith, and then Benton gets fouled. He'll shoot 1 and 1. Rob Perry with 25 points, and he may have won this game for the Stetson Hatters here. Just a foul by
Benton pressing the issue. The Hatters failed to get back. You know, you got to get back. You made a nice bucket there and gave you a little breathing room.
They get Swenson for it.
But credit the Lions, not giving up, pushing the ball up the floor.
Benton gets to 20 points. Could be a special season on tap for Rob Perry. 25 and a half tonight.
Now, if you're Hatters, you got to expect that press, and Coach Ansar El-Amin has called a timeout to set up a defense. What he's probably setting up right now is the press, and what happens if the press is broken? Who do we foul? And then how do we come back and score? And on the other end, you're looking at Coach Jones, and guys, you know what's going to happen. You got to be strong with the basketball. You're going to get fouled. Let's step up. Let's make those free throws, but no errant passes. No, as Coach Kiefer at North Central High School in Indianapolis that had all those great players with You know, Mike Conley and Greg Oden, he used to say, don't throw those dunk me passes. You know, those passes that floated, the guy could just come across half court and go to the length of the floor and dunk.
Love that dunk me pass.
He said, no dunk me passes. So
Mike Conley, one of the great ball handlers of his generation. Clearly took that lesson to heart. So, yep, here goes FMU. They've got all the blue jerseys on the Hatter end of the court.
And obviously they're going to go for that steal. They got one guy back as the safety, Holcomb. So here they're going to go for that steal if you can't get it.
Not fouling FMU, and finally they they get a timeout from Donnie Jones.
And wow.
But the Hatters take 7 seconds off the clock there, and then they get the timeout. Coach Jones has 2 to go.
And I'd love to see who called that timeout, because, you know, coaches, athletes are the ones that's supposed to be. You know, they inserted that rule where the bench, I'm going to have to check on that, if the bench can call a timeout. But, and you know, I think, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to check that, but a couple of years ago, it was the coaches, and they may have reinserted where the coaches can call the timeout, but it was the athletes have to call the timeout on the floor.
Tanzo into Swenson. Still no foul from FMU. And they get it across the timeline to Smith.
Wow.
Still not fouling. And finally, Kebe fouls Swenson.
Yeah, Shake Kebe.
So that whole sequence, the 2 plays separated by the timeout, took 17 seconds off the board. Almost half the remaining time.
And that series is what you see at the beginning of the year when officials have their training. You know, I mean, that had a little of everything. A timeout when the ball was not in the front court yet. You still had some time left to get it across. And so it was a lot happening on that last series.
Swenson in and out of the first free throw. This is a double bonus 2-shot foul.
Still time left, 2-possession game, as you just mentioned it. I know Alameen has got to be proud of his troops for the performance they've put in, and they're still alive.
There you go. Swenson goes 0 for 2.
And you got to find where this young man is.
Benton loses it to Smith. Josh Smith. Fouled by Holcomb as he goes flying towards the ball, towards the wall.
That's a hard foul. You just.
And Holcomb going over there to check on him. Josh Smith with a big steal.
And here it is, and coming right at you in Glenn Wilkes Arena. You know, it's cement back there and some doors, and they don't give. So Holcomb, good sportsmanship. He did not want to give up a free basket there, so it's a good hard foul, but the officials are going to
wonder if they're going to check this.
Take
for
a look at it to
flagrant.
see if it's see if did he make a play on the basketball or did he go straight for the opponent.
Try to take these fouls out of the game. It's funny, in the NBA this year, we've seen the rise of the Euro foul, or the return of the Euro foul, where you intentionally foul a guy at midcourt. You're not making any sort of play on the ball because of the lack of whistles.
And I like that. I like that because it, you know, I mean, that's costly. You know, to be able to get the basketball, and I mean, it's a way to keep, you know, the game going as well, not being able to stoppage from just silly fouls.
Yeah.
You got a clear, fast break, and you foul on a player. So the officials are taking a long look at this. And could it be a flagrant? Could it be a 1 or a 2?
The fans are seeing that you get a free Zaxby's sandwich if the Hatters score 75. They're at 73, so they need Smith to make these free throws. Well, now the officials are having a conversation.
And it really matters of what this call is going to be, because it could be where you free throws and the basketball. So
they're going to look at it again and get the third official's opinion. We'll try to show it to you when we can. Unfortunately, when the referees are looking at the replay, we don't have the ability to show it to you on our end, but we'll show it to you as soon as we can. Still getting everything sorted here. And they're going to
see if we're going to get an explanation here.
Come let us
from
know.
The officials there.
Regal get the explanation, and it is a flagrant one.
Flagrant one
on Holcomb.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2 and the ball for the Hatters, and that should just about put the kibosh on this game.
And that's why this call is was so pivotal right here at this point in the game. And it looks like he did make a play on the basketball. So
yeah, looking at, I mean, we only saw it one time. I think that was maybe a common foul.
Yeah, it looked as if he, went straight up. But again, that's instant replay in slow motion. And seeing it, when you saw it live, it looked much more, aggressive than it looked looking at it in slow motion.
The roof's going to come off this place if Smith makes the shot.
Zaxby,
Oh, it's in and out. Has he cost the crowd chicken?
And this is the difference between, as we talked about, that flagrant one and just just a hard common foul, because the Lions would have had an opportunity to get the basketball back. So
this will be FMU looking for a steal, or if not, likely a quick foul.
And there's still a possibility to get some chicken tenders.
Goes to Perry. And it doesn't look like FMU is going to go for it here. Washington on Perry, and Rob dribbles it out, much to the crowd's dismay. But the Hatters do win the game, 74-67. As she holds off Florida Memorial on the back of 25 in the second half from Rob Perry.
Super Rob Perry showing you why he's a preseason pick for ASUN.
Greg Turner, great to be back with you, my man. We will have plenty more the rest of the season. Want to thank our producer, Jeff Taylor. Our broadcast technicians are Robert Shaw and Jacob Gowan. Thank our entire Stetson Broadcast Productions team. My name's Evan West, and thank you for joining us for our season opening doubleheader. Hatters take both. The men win the nightcap 74-67 over a very game Florida Memorial team. Watch this entire game on replay, as well as all the other games on our family of ESPN networks, ESPN.com and the ESPN app, the place to be. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night, everybody.